Now what? I mean, the Earth is gone, and not only are you stuck on the space station above it, there's not a single soul left with you. You are all by yourself, in space, and you have nowhere to go. How long would your supplies last? And what would you do when those supplies are finished? This is What If? And here's what would happen if you were the last human stranded in space. The International Space Station, the one and only research facility orbiting the Earth every half hour. And now, it's your forever home. Unless you prefer living on Mars, but more on that later. The ISS is equipped with laboratories, living areas, a gym, an unimaginably expensive toilet, and it has a supply of food. Not the worst place to be stranded, but you might change your mind about that. Don't start to panic. Just take a deep breath. It's 7 a.m. and you wake up after your 8-hour sleep. You make yourself a protein-filled breakfast and get to work. This space station isn't going to repair itself. You carry on conducting repairs and then you might exercise for a couple of hours. Everything seems normal until you remember that what you saw yesterday wasn't a dream. You try to open a line of communication with Earth to see if anyone's still down there. No luck. You're alone. And you can't go back to what's left of Earth. You can't talk to anyone. Nothing. And you need to start dealing with it. The first thing you'd want to do is see how much food is left. A team of 6 people could last on the ISS for about 3 months. Since you were left all by yourself, you could easily do fine for 18 months or more. But you need to plan your rations. 2 meals a day is a good start. And you could grow fresh veggies right on the space station to keep you going longer. You'd keep recycling and reusing the water. This water was always cleaner than the water on Earth anyway. For the bathroom, you'd keep using a suction tube to pee into. And this waste container is for number 2. It's equipped with a small suction pump so that everything goes in the right direction. No auto flush and no seat heater. So much for the $19 million toilet. While you're floating around with the sweat pooling around your body instead of evaporating, think of this. You'd never take a shower again. I mean a good running water shower. Those would be gone together with the Earth. You'd have to get by squirting a bit of water on your skin and shampooing with no-rinse shampoo. Whether your planet is destroyed or not, your body is built for living on the ground and not in the microgravity environment. On the ISS, your bones would keep losing calcium and your muscles would keep losing mass. This is because in the weightlessness, your body doesn't need bones or muscles much. If you want to keep those, you'd need to hit the gym. Astronauts work out as much as 4 hours in every 16-hour period. There's not much of a gym on the ISS, but at least you can use the treadmill and a sort of mechanical bicycle. And after a long day of working, exercising, peeing in a tube, eating dehydrated food, and trying to stay sane, you'd head back to your sleeping pod and just try to sleep a little. You could live your day-to-day space life all by yourself for a year or 2. Your body would be getting weaker, and the shock and grief of losing everyone you knew would be overwhelming you. The thought of never being able to go back to Earth could cause anxiety, panic attacks, and depression. The total isolation would impact your ability to survive on the ISS. And without proper maintenance, the space station would plunge uncontrollably down to what's left of Earth and splash into the ocean. But what if, instead of giving up and slowly waiting for your end on this enormous craft, you could make good use of it? I'm talking about moving the entire station away from Earth's leftovers. The ISS was built for the lower Earth orbit, but if you had enough fuel in the tank, could you try to use it as a spaceship and accelerate it all the way to Mars? What have you got to lose anyway? You know, I'd really like to give you some emotional support. You are the last person in all of humanity, and you're watching What If. That's just wow. But the truth is, you wouldn't make it to Mars. The ISS is designed for lower Earth orbit. It just wouldn't work for the Red Planet, or for our moon for that matter. Plus, you wouldn't survive very long in the harsh space radiation. And the ISS itself is getting too old to handle space travel. It just wouldn't work. Unless you happen to get stranded on a next-generation space station that required fewer repairs and spacewalks, that would be fully self-sustaining and free-flying. Then you'd call it an early retirement and keep living on it till your life comes to an end. Or you could get out there and explore space beyond the solar system. You might find an exoplanet you could live on. Maybe even encounter alien life. But that's a story for another What If.